Donald Trump spoke at the Iowa Freedom Summit. He's continuing to play the fake game that he plays every election where he pretends like he's going to run. He also argued the same thing that he's been arguing every year at these events. He wants the United States to basically be a pirate state.
We spent $2 trillion in Iraq. We got nothing. They don't even respect us. They don't even care about us until they started getting their ass kicked. Then they call, oh, please come back and help us. You know, we want you out, we want you out. Then all of a sudden a new group forms, ISIS. By the way, you know how they formed? They took the oil. And for those of you that know and love Donald Trump, there are some of you. Have I been saying for 4 years, keep the oil? So now ISIS has the oil. And the stuff that ISIS doesn't have, Iran is going to take. So we get nothing. We have $2 trillion and we have thousands of lives lost. Thousands. And we have, what do we have? I mean, I walk down the streets of New York and I see so many wounded warriors, incredible people. You know, leadership of other places never respect stupid people, okay? That's one thing you're going to find. The same thing is happening there. And I never knew that Afghanistan until a year ago or so. Afghanistan has tremendous wealth in minerals. Different. Not the oil, but minerals. And we're fighting here, and on the other side of the mountain, China is taking out all the minerals. They're taking it out. Trillions of dollars and billions of dollars of minerals. So we're fighting here, and they're taking it out, looking at us and saying, thank you very much, sucker. It's really, really crazy.
This guy is just an embarrassment, man. I kind of feel bad for him. It's like if you gave a microphone to your crazy uncle at the Thanksgiving dinner table who says retarded shit. He's arguing that the United States should invade all these countries where we have no business being in there, and then after we invade there and kill all these civilians, he goes, then steal their shit. So invade countries that we shouldn't invade, then loot everything. Rob, steal, you know, you've already killed enough innocent people, then you take their shit. And then, of course, that would make us the moral people. See, can't you tell how Donald Trump is just such a fantastic Christian? He really believes in the message of Jesus, invading places and stealing their shit. Now, imagine, would Donald Trump ever advocate that in any other realm? So would he say that, you know, oh, I don't understand. Why doesn't Iran start a war with this country and steal all their shit? I mean, he would never do that if it's another country. If it was another country acting in that way, what would he say? He would say, these people are savages, they're barbarians, they're immoral, they're crazy, we need to attack them. Bring it down to just the individual level. Imagine, say, a black person going into a store, killing the owner, and then robbing it. Would he say, hey, come on, guys. Let's be rational here. He wanted some Cheetos and he wanted some ice cream, so he had to grab the Cheetos and the ice cream. What? What do you mean? That's exactly what he should do. That's what he's saying about the U.S. So we went into Iraq and we killed civilians and we took their oil. What do you mean? That's perfectly okay. I don't understand. He says it in such a casual way. And here's why I wanted to discuss this today. He keeps saying this. This is now, I believe, the third time we've covered this story on Secular Talk alone. Every speech he gives about politics, he says this. So that means that not a single person in his inner circle heard him make this argument and said, Don, come here for a sec, buddy. Look, just sit down, relax. You want a drink? Let me grab you a drink. No, you don't want one? Okay, look. I don't mean this in a bad way, but you have to stop making that argument. You sound stupid. Look, I'm just trying to help you out, man. You sound dumb when you say that. Not a single person in his inner circle. Again, you could check the Secular Talk archives. I know we covered this when he was at the CPAC convention once, maybe twice. So this is the third time we're covering this story. Nobody tells him, bro, you can't, you're flat out arguing in favor of violating the Geneva Convention, violating international laws, violating the U.S. Constitution, flat out acting as a pirate state. Another thing he doesn't understand is that, dude, believe me, they're doing what you want them to do anyway. That's exactly what they're doing. Oil production in Iraq shot through the roof after we invaded. See, the smart thing that America has done since we've been the, imperial leader of the world post-World War II, we don't do the old school British style where we like basically put in British leaders in these places and they make all the decisions, because that's too in your face and everybody would object to that morally. What we do is we prop up people from their own country who are going to be our own puppet dictators. So Maliki was the perfect example of that. The Shiite leader in Iraq brutally repressed the Sunnis, and he just kept giving oil and shit to the American people. Or not to the people, to the government of America. Of course, the American people have a moral objection to this as well. The only person that doesn't is apparently Donald Trump. And the most ironic part of that is when he goes, leaders don't respect stupidity. You can say that again, buddy, which is why you need to exit stage left. It's so stunning he doesn't realize that he's not bright. Because everything about him is false bravado, right? Everything about him is like, super big ego, and the way he talks and the way he acts, and always name dropping and bragging about his accomplishments, which aren't really all that great of accomplishments because his dad had $400 million. He inherited this massive amount of money. He even goes on in that speech to say, I'm Trump, I build stuff. I build great stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. So what we would do, I'd build a wall on the southern border, but you know me, I build stuff. I'm great with it. They're fantastic. It's like, oh my God, you stop bragging for 1 second, man. You sound so stupid. But the final thing I'll mention is, so his point on ISIS. He's like, oh, ISIS is taking the oil. First of all, the main oil fields that ISIS captured are in Syria. They're not in Iraq. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two is they also took our guns. So we invaded under Bush. We left behind all this armament and all these Humvees, and so much stuff was left behind in Iraq. And then they took that, and that's the main stuff that they're using to fight us and to fight everybody in the region. So the real issue is that we should have never went in there in the first place, because then they would have never had weapons. And by the way, there's a good argument ISIS wouldn't even exist if we didn't go in there in the first place. And the reason we know that is because the Sunni Baathists, who are the largely secular party of Saddam Hussein, when they were purged from the government after the Bush administration purged them, what happened? They were the Sunnis who were disaffected, and now they felt repressed, and so they linked up with ISIS. They would have never linked up with them beforehand. The Baathists actively oppose any kind of religious fundamentalism because that would have threatened Saddam Hussein. So you made them stronger and you gave them weapons by us invading in the first place. The answer isn't, hey, let's invade, kill all the civilians, and then take their shit. The answer is we should have never went in there in the first place.